With that, we will get started again. This is the public information meeting for state project number 0017-0197, which is the replacement of the computerized traffic signal system along US Route 6 in the city of Bristol. My name is John Lockaby, and I am the project manager from the of Traffic Engineering at the Connecticut Department of Transportation. My email is john.lockaby@ct.gov. First, I'll go over how to view captions and subtitles in Zoom. First, click Show Captions CC on the bottom of your screen. Then click the speaking language and then select English. Closed captioning and non-English translation options will be available on YouTube after the event, and we will be posting a recording of this information session on the Connecticut DOT's YouTube page. Quick meeting overview is I have some housekeeping items to go over. I will introduce the project team. We'll talk about the purpose of tonight's meeting, the overview of the project we're talking about tonight, some of the coordination that we've undergone as part of this project, the potential right-of-way impacts associated with this project, the project costs, and the schedule and the next steps after this public information meeting. First, we'll have a formal presentation by our design team, and then afterwards we'll have a question and answer session. There are three different ways to submit questions to the design team. First, you can email me at john.lockkaby@ct.gov. You can call us by phone at 860-594-2020 and leave us a voicemail, and somebody from the project team will call you back and answer any questions you may have. Um, also, you can participate in our live Zoom Q&A session that I will go over on the next slide. And then our project webpage is listed there for any further information after this information meeting. https://portal.ct.gov/0017-0197. Our formal comment period is open through July 7th, 2026, but the live Q&A session is only available during this live meeting. In order to participate in the live Q&A session, click the Q&A tool at the bottom of the Zoom webinar window. The question and answer window will open. Please type your question and click enter. If you are an audio participant, dial *9 to raise and lower your hand. Uh, this is our Title VI slide that states no person shall, on the basis of race, color, or national origin, be excluded from participation or subject to discrimination in the development of this project. We have a voluntary post-meeting survey that is shown on the QR code there, and is also a link to it has been posted in our meeting chat. We encourage anybody to leave a survey response. And like I said earlier, a recording of this presentation will be posted on the Connecticut DOT's YouTube channel. And non-English translation options are also available. This is the full Title VI notice to the public. For more information on CTDOT's Civil Rights Program and to file a complaint, contact the CTDOT Title VI coordinator at 860-594-2169 TRS 711 or email deborah.goss@ct.gov. And this is the same Title VI notice posted in Spanish. Okay, with that, I will introduce the project team. We have Matthew Bloom, who is the Division Chief of Traffic Engineering at CTDOT. Lisa Conroy is the Principal Engineer of the Signals Unit, which this project is being administered under. Myself, the Project Manager for CTDOT. We also have from Connecticut DOT and our Division of Rights of Way, Jack Carlson. From our design team, we have Quasi Brown from Beta Group. He is the project manager. Also from the design team, we have Cam Tabrizi from WSP. And acting as a consultant liaison for Connecticut DOT, we have Jennifer Babowitz from Fuss and O'Neill. And with that, I will hand it over to Quasi Brown to go into a more formal presentation.
Well, thank you very much, Jay, and good evening, everyone. Again, Quasi Brown with Beta Group, project manager for the design team. The purpose of tonight's meeting is really to provide a project overview and also to give a status update on where we are in the design process. Also to obtain any public input on our design and also respond to any questions the public may have of us tonight. Next slide. So to just give a little bit of a project overview, this project involves traffic signal upgrades at 10 intersections on a 2.5-mile segment of US Route 6 in the city of Bristol. Route 6 is classified as a principal arterial roadway. It typically carries about 18,000 vehicles on a daily basis and has a posted speed limit of 35 miles per hour. So the project corridor is what is shown on this graphic here. It starts on the west, which is the intersection of US Route 6 at Matthew Street, and continues in an easterly direction, terminating at the intersection of US Route 6 at Mick Street / Brook Street. You can see some circles on the graphic, on the aerial. The intersections that are circled in red, which is 7 of them, are intersections that are going to be a full replacement of the traffic signals. And the intersections that are circled in yellow are going to be intersections with partial upgrades. And I'll go into a little bit more detail in the next slides. Next slide, please. So the purpose and need of this project really is to replace aging signal infrastructure with new signal equipment to achieve a state of good repair and improve traffic operations. And the improvements that we'll be implementing include new signal equipment at the intersections, pedestrian accommodation improvements, including new curb ramps and sidewalks, flashing left turn yellow arrow signals, new vehicle detection at intersections, fiber optic communications, CCTV cameras, improved access to transit stops, as well as the provision of illumination at crosswalks and at transit stops. Next slide, please. So to talk a little bit more about the signal equipment that we'll be implementing or proposing for these projects, we'll have new mast arms at the intersections and new signal heads, vehicular detection, new traffic signal controllers. There's currently emergency preemption equipment within the corridor. To the extent possible, these equipment will be relocated to the new mast arms that we are proposing for this project. And also there will be new communication systems for this project. Next slide, please. In terms of pedestrian accommodations, we will be installing, to the extent possible, new crosswalks on all legs at an intersection, as well as ADA compliant ramps. We'll have new sidewalks connecting to ramps and bus stops, pedestrian indications with push buttons, as well as pedestrian phasing with blackout signs. And the blackout signs, if you look at the top right corner of the screen, you have an example of what the blackout signs will look like. These will typically come on when you have the pedestrian crossing phase, you have the no turn on red, as well as turning vehicles yielding to pedestrians in crosswalks. Next slide, please. In terms of the vehicular detection, there's going to be 2 types. There's going to be a 360-degree camera for vehicles that will be waiting at a stop bar, as well as radar detectors that would be able to pick up vehicles that are approaching an intersection. Next slide. We will also have communications between the intersections within the corridor. So these signals will be able to talk to each other. Currently, there is existing aerial copper interconnect within the corridor. That is going to be replaced with underground fiber optic interconnect. This is going to be a 48-strand fiber optic cable that will run along the corridor, which will allow the traffic signals to talk to each other. Additionally, we'll have connectivity to the Connecticut DOT Highway Operations Center using a wireless cellular communication system. Next slide, please. So at this point, I want to talk a little bit more in detail about what is being proposed at each of these 10 intersections. I want to draw your attention to the legend, which is at the bottom of the screen. You see areas where will be highlighted as brown. These are these locations where we are replacing existing sidewalks and curb ramps. In areas where new crosswalks are proposed, those are being shown with the purple bars, as you can see on the graphic. In addition, you will see for the mast arm and signal heads, blue indications as shown in the legend. And then finally, there'll be areas where we'll require right-of-way acquisition, or in this case, mostly easements, and these are shown in the purple areas, the purple rectangular areas are shown on the graphic. So our first intersection is the US Route 6 at Matthew Street intersection. This is intersection 17-211. As you can see from the aerial, this is a three-legged intersection. It's close to a railroad overpass as shown in the graphic again. This intersection currently has a span wire design, and what is being proposed is a full replacement of the equipment. We will have a mast arm layout as is shown. We'll have two mast arms as is shown in the graphic on the bottom right. Additionally, it will have a video detection equipment. Also, we'll have the radar equipment as I've already sort of indicated. And then there will be new pedestrian signal equipment as well, with new crosswalks on two legs of the intersection. That's the north leg as well as the west leg of an intersection. North is top of the screen, pointing up on the screen. No crosswalk is proposed. No crosswalk is proposed on the east leg because of some sightline constraints at that location on that approach. So essentially, it's two crosswalks as shown on the graphic. Some easements, an easement will be required in the northwest corner of the intersection for traffic signal equipment as is shown in the graphic as well. Next slide. The next intersection is US Route 6 at Route 69. This is intersection 17-233. This is a three-legged intersection as is shown on the graphic on the aerial. It's currently a mast arm design, and that mast arm design is going to be maintained. It will be a single mast arm serving the intersection as is shown in the graphic. There will be new curb ramps and new sidewalks, as well as crosswalks on all three legs of the intersection. Again, there'll be new pedestrian equipment and new vehicular detection equipment as well at this location. Next slide, please. The next intersection is US Route 6 at North Main Street, which is intersection 17-214. This is also a full replacement location. As you can see, this is a four-legged intersection. The existing layout has a span wires, but that is going to be replaced with new mast arms, as is shown in the graphic at the bottom right. There are currently crosswalks on all legs at this location, and those crosswalks are going to be maintained as well. Again, new vehicular detection equipment. There will be preemption equipment as well with CCTV camera at this location. Next slide. The next intersection is Route 6 at Maple Street at Burlington Avenue. This is intersection 17-215. This is the first of the partial upgrade locations. For this location, there's currently mast arms, and the mast arm configuration, we are going to have new mast arms at this location. No crosswalks are currently present at this location. And as part of this project, given that this will be a partial upgrade location, there will be no new crosswalk being proposed because new crosswalks are going to be implemented as part of another project that is currently ongoing with the Connecticut DOT. So for this project, there will be no additional crosswalks because that is going to be implemented under a separate project. Next slide. The next intersection is also a partial upgrade, which is US Route 6 at Rustic Terrace and Bristol Commons, intersection 17-202. Again, it's currently existing span wire configuration. For our design, we are proposing two new mast arms, as it can be shown in the graphic. There will be no pedestrian improvements as part of this project because, again, pedestrian improvements, crosswalks, and ped equipment are being proposed under a separate DOT project that is ongoing before and ahead of this project that we're currently designing. Next slide, please. The next one is also a partial upgrade intersection. This is US Route 6 at Oakland Street, intersection 17-216. It's a four-legged intersection. This also has span wires. Now, this location, the only improvement that is going to be implemented is the fiber optic interconnect that is going to be that's going to allow this intersection to communicate with adjacent intersections. Again, the signal equipment and pedestrian upgrades are going to be undertaken under a separate project that is ongoing with the Connecticut DOT. Next slide. The next intersection is US Route 6 at Jerome Avenue. That's intersection number 17-218. This is a full replacement location. As you can see, this is a four-legged intersection. It currently has two crosswalks. Under this project, we are proposing crosswalks on all the legs. In addition, we'll have mast arm configurations, new vehicular detection, preemption equipment, as well as CCTV. Next slide, please. Next one is US Route 6 at Route 229 and Shopping Center Driveway, intersection 17-209. This also is a full replacement location. It's going to have new mast arms. It's going to have crosswalks on 3 of the legs at this location. And it will also have pedestrian signal improvements, as well as vehicular detection, preemption as well, and also the interconnect going through this intersection to communicate with adjacent intersections. Next slide. Next one, Route 6 at Columbus Avenue, Bristol Plaza Driveway, intersection 17-220. This also is a full replacement location. We'll have 4 new mast arms. There's going to be sidewalk and curb ramp improvements, as can be seen in the graphic, crosswalks on 3 of the legs with pedestrian signal improvements equipment, as well as the vehicular detection and the preemption equipment as well at this location. Next slide. And then the last on the eastern terminus of the corridor is the US Route 6 at Mix Street at Brook Street intersection, intersection 17-232. This also is a full replacement location. It's going to have 4 new mast arms with crosswalks on all the legs with pedestrian signal improvements, as well as curb ramps and sidewalk improvements as well, with vehicular detection and communication systems as well as we have for the other locations. Next slide. So we've been doing a lot of project coordination even to get to this point. We've had outreach with city staff. Notifications letters were sent out to the city March 11th of this year. We had a virtual meeting with city staff to introduce the design. This was the 16th of June of this year. And that coordination is ongoing. We are having this virtual public information meeting today, and we will continue to coordinate with the utility companies to make sure that there are no issues with our design. We anticipate having a virtual meeting, virtual utility meeting in the middle of July, and then having field meetings at the end of July for this project. Next slide. This project will have some right-of-way impacts. We anticipate that there will be about 2021 easements for the maintenance of traffic signal equipment. That is still ongoing, the process is ongoing, and it's yet to be finalized. But any right-of-way impacts or easement would have to go through the Connecticut DOT rights-of-way process. Next slide. So with that, I'll hand over to Jack Carlson, who is with the Connecticut DOT Division of Rights of Way, to talk a little bit more about the rights of way process. Jack.
Thank you, Gracie. Good evening. My name is Jack Carlson, and I'm a project coordinator with the Department's Division of Rights of Way. Our office is responsible for acquiring the property rights needed for transportation projects. Within our office, we have different agents that you may interact with. You have your administration agents, such as myself, who oversee the projects and files for each project. You have our title searchers who search the land records in the town hall to confirm proper ownership of the land and check for encumbrances or any barriers to acquisition of the property rights. You have our licensed appraisers who prepare cost estimates as well as provide valuations for files. You have our acquisition agents or negotiators. Typically, that's the first agent that you'll interact with. They're the ones who actually will prepare the offer, mail it to the property owner, and negotiate with the property owner. And then you have our title closing agents who are responsible for preparing any of the necessary documentation to record the easement or acquisition on the land records, as well as render payment during the closing process. As Kwesi mentioned earlier in the presentation, this project will require the acquisition of property rights. So I'd like to give a brief overview of our acquisition process. Any required property rights will be acquired in accordance with Connecticut General Statute Section 13A 73 and 13A 98E, as well as the Federal Uniform Act. Additionally, the specific right-of-way impacts are still being finalized and may change as the project design progresses. Next slide, please. The right-of-way acquisition process begins once the project design has progressed to a development milestone and all the impacts have been determined. At this point, each affected property owner will receive from our office a formal letter of intent to acquire, or what we call our initial letter, along with the property map, which will depict the specific property rights being acquired. A sample property map is shown on the right side of your screen. Next, our office will determine the fair market value of those property rights, which will be used to establish an offer of just compensation. That offer will be sent out to the property owner in writing, and a rights-of-way agent will be available to meet with the property owner to explain the project, go over the specific impacts to their property, and review the department's offer. The property owner will then have a reasonable amount of time to consider the department's offer and enter negotiations. When an agreement is reached, the department will then prepare all of the necessary paperwork to record the deed and property map on the town land records. However, if an agreement is not able to be reached, in order to keep the project on schedule, the department will acquire the necessary rights through property rights through its power of eminent domain. In that event, the state files a notice of condemnation in the Superior Court, along with a monetary deposit in the amount of the department's initial offer. The affected property owner would then have 6 months from that date on the notice of condemnation that will be mailed to their house to file an appeal if they felt that the department's offer was inadequate. Whether or not the property owner chooses to appeal, the money deposited in the court is available to be withdrawn by the owner at any point in that process. It's important to note that the department only acquires property rights that are needed for the project. If there are any questions regarding the right-of-way acquisition process, I'm happy to answer them after the presentation. And with that, I'll hand it back to Kwesi. Thank you.
Thanks, Jack. So in terms of the project cost and the design schedule, this project is 80% federally funded with 20% coming from the state. The project budget currently is $14 million. The design schedule, we have completed preliminary engineering. Preliminary design is currently under review by Connecticut DOT. We anticipate to complete semi-final design in November of this year, with final design plans being completed in June of 2027, with advertising in August of 2027, with the construction start date of spring 2028. Next slide. So in terms of next steps, the goal is we're going to continue advancing the design. We'll incorporate any feedback that we'll get from the public tonight. We'll continue our traffic signal design. We'll refine the right-of-way needs and continue to coordinate with the town and the utility companies as well to make sure that we stay on track with this project. Slide. So with that, I'll hand over to Jay.
Great. Awesome. Thank you, Kwesi. Thank you, Jack. With that, that brings us into our question and answer session. Like I said earlier, there are three separate ways to participate in our question and answer session. You can email me at john.lockaby@ct.gov. You can call us at 860-594-2020 and leave a voicemail about the project. Please reference Bristol or Route 6 signal replacement project or this project number 17-197. You can also participate in our the live Zoom Q&A function. And as I said earlier, our formal comment period is open through July 7th, 2026. But you can follow along on the project webpage and reach out to the design team with any questions. And with that, we'll keep an eye out for any questions submitted to the design team. I said earlier too, we'll have a recording of this meeting posted on our CTDOT YouTube webpage after this meeting. Uh, we have Jennifer Babowitz from Fuss Neal as our consultant liaison. Jen, do we have any questions so far?
Nothing in the Q&A.
All right.
No voicemails on the inbox either, Jack.
All right, thanks, Ken. Like I said, yeah, our comment period is open through July 7th, 2026. Please send us any questions or you can email me. Like I said, you can leave a voicemail for us. We also work closely with our uh, town contacts, the city of Bristol, so feel free to um, let the city know if you have any comments or concerns about this project. Um, and we will respond back to any questions that come in after the meeting is over. Again, I'll wait a couple minutes just to allow anybody to submit any questions. Oh, also, I encourage you again to fill out a survey too, please. We're actively looking for feedback on these public information meetings, so any feedback is welcome. I'll wait just a couple more minutes, but again, you can submit comments to my email, john.lockaby@ct.gov. Our phone number is 860-594-2020. And you can submit any questions on this live Q&A session. But we will be posting information on the project webpage if anybody has any further questions. The live Zoom Q&A is only available during this meeting, however.
Still no questions.
All right. I'll just wait a couple more minutes. Do you want to thank those that did come to our meeting tonight? Like I said, we're actively looking for input for this project. And even though the Zoom Q&A is only available during the session, you can still submit comments and questions to my email. You can leave a voicemail at 860-594-2020. And we'll be posting information on our project webpage, including a link to the recording, which will also be on the CTDOT YouTube page. All right. Jen, I'll check with you one more time, just make sure I'm not missing anything.
Nope, no questions in the Q&A.
All right. And okay. All right. Well, with that, I want to thank those that joined us, and we will be posting the recording to this meeting tomorrow. And thank you for your time. Have a good night.